Starting again is never easy. And here in Queensland, Australia, we're about to meet an inspiring woman who, after losing everything in an earthquake, managed to rebuild an incredible life for herself in a tiny house. Hi Vicki, how are you?
Good, thanks Bryce. Welcome to the opposite of chaos.
It sure is the opposite of chaos here. It's like a little sanctuary that you've got tucked away.
It's amazing. I'm feeling really lucky to be here.
So your home, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
but
you.
Before we talk about the house, this is an incredible property that you're parked up on.
It is. I'm really lucky. A wonderful family in the area own the land and they have opened their doors for a few of us to come and rent a little spot and live alongside them in the community with them.
And how many people are living here on the property?
There's about a dozen adults and some children as well, so it's a really beautiful mix.
And it looks like there's all kinds of different structures here as well?
There are, yes. We have some tiny houses and some container homes and some cottages and a bus. It's sort of something for everyone.
All the bases covered?
That's right.
And there's some farming going on here as well?
There is. The owner has always pictured a permaculture farm and he does food growing courses for the public to join and opens the farm up for people to come and experience a little bit of paradise with him. So he does all these training courses and things. It's just beautiful.
That is so cool, and I'm totally with him. Permaculture is the future of growing.
Definitely.
And there's a yoga studio here too.
There is, yes. There's a beautiful sort of outdoor inspired yoga studio that's just magical to practice in, and people in the area have memberships and just come and practice yoga. There's also a treatment room as well, so you can come and get a massage or acupuncture or whatever happens to be on offer with the practitioners at the time.
And as part of being here on the land, do you have to plug into what's going on the farm as well?
No, we don't have to at all, but sometimes we'll all get together and do some clearing of a particular piece of land, or we'll all get together for a party of some description, but generally we all just live separate lives but all come together as a community in general.
Great, so you pay rent for the spot here?
Yes.
Best of both worlds, right?
Best.
You get to plug into the community when you want, but then have your own little private space here as well.
It's amazing.
And can you tell me how it was that you came to be living in a tiny house?
Originally I had a normal size house in Christchurch, New Zealand, which was destroyed by the earthquakes.
Oh no.
Yeah, rough time. So I had to pay my mortgage, and so I thought, what am I going to do? I need to do something fast. So I moved to Australia, stayed with some wonderful friends of mine in Sydney, and got a job in Sydney, and then basically just sort of put my life back together. And 6 years later, when the insurance company had rebuilt my house, I had a new life in Australia and haven't gone back, basically. And so I'd wanted to live tiny. After everything you own is destroyed in an earthquake, you begin to question why you're putting so much money into things and space, and all of a sudden, all of that's gone. So it really made me reassess, what do I need, what do we need? And simple is just much more freeing. I researched, and had been researching for probably 5 to 7 years anyway, to try and find the right builder for me. Finally, up here in Queensland, found the most amazing building company and the most amazing people, and we put it all together, and I got here about 2 months before it was finished and spent my first night here on Christmas, woke up Christmas morning for the first time.
You know, all over the world we've met people who have lost their homes in earthquakes, in floods, in fires. And one of the common stories that we hear from those people is that when you lose everything, it forces you to really reevaluate your life and reevaluate what's actually important for you.
I came to Australia with a bag of clothes and $300. Like, I didn't have anything else. So it's kind of freeing. You can literally pick up a bag and go anywhere. You don't need all of the things.
And it really looks like that after everything you've been through with losing your home and having to move to Australia, you've certainly landed on your feet here, haven't you?
I have. I feel really lucky. I really feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing now. I'm following the path that I've wanted to do for a long time, but just haven't made the first step. So I'm feeling great. And
the home that you've designed is absolutely beautiful. Can you talk to me about what you've created here?
Sure. I originally thought I wanted a dark coloured tiny house, which is all the rage with the exterior cedar and things. But I realised I needed to go something lighter. I needed to reflect the light as much as I could. And I went with the June colour bond, and it's matte as well, so it's a little bit less shiny. I just think it's stunning. I'm really, really pleased with that, with the black windows. It's great.
And it's just so idyllic as well, with the lovely flowing white curtains set amongst the rainforest and lovely undercover shelter from the sun.
I just wanted somewhere like magical that you could sit outside. It's so pretty at night with the lights and the mosquito nets are just so beautiful. They're functional, but they're also beautiful. And it's Queensland. You spend a lot of time outside.
And with the parking spot here, you're just hooked into regular power and water?
Yes, I've been lucky enough to just plug straight in. We use bore water and we have some solar panels on the yoga studio. So other than that, but it is just power for me.
Great, nice and easy. And what size is the tiny house?
It is 7.2 metres, but I have a little bump out over the drawbar as well. So the top part is 8 metres.
And you've done some beautiful landscaping and gardening around the home?
Yes, I'm always trying to do something out there. It's a little bit wild and woolly. It's always under construction. There's new things going on. I've actually got literally hundreds of flower seeds and I'm going to germinate those, and the whole back corner over there is going to be like wildflowers for the bees.
Oh, magic.
It's just going to be crazy. It's going to be beautiful.
Well, you really do have the most idyllic spot here. The home looks beautiful from the outside, and I cannot wait to see what you've done on the inside. Can we take a look?
We absolutely can. Come on in.
Thank you very much. Oh, wow. This is something really special you've created here.
Thank you. I love it.
All the green in here just incredibly matches the rainforest setting. That wonderful picture window as well just draws you deeply into the space.
It does. I just wanted it to be really tranquil and calm with a lot of light, and I'm really lucky that I happen to have such a beautiful outlook out that beautiful window.
I especially love what you've done here with this wallpaper.
Thank you. Yes, I spent many, many hours searching for the exact right print that I wanted on the wall, and I actually imported it from the Netherlands. So directly from the artist. So wow. Yeah.
And it just so wonderfully matches the setting where you've parked your home as well.
It does. It's just so relaxing, and yeah, just I love it.
And the colour combination in here really works as well. You've got the green, you've got the timber, you've got the copper. What a beautiful match.
Yeah, I was really lucky. I was just wandering around a second-hand shop in Sydney and I saw the copper lights, and they were an aqua blue, and I didn't need copper lights, but I just had to have them. So I bought them and I took them home, and they sat in a cupboard for about 4 years. And then I decided to take the journey to tiny, and I was like, well, this is what it has to be around. And that's where the copper came in for everything. It was kind of like the starting point.
And this is your lounge here.
It is.
Nice sized couch.
Thank you. Perfect for me. If I have guests over that are too tall to sleep on the couch, they can sleep in the loft and I take the couch.
Good idea. And nicely positioned to capture some gorgeous views there as well.
It is. It's so nice just sitting there and staring outside at the sun.
Oh, absolutely. And lots of knick-knack storage built into the stairs as well?
Absolutely. I know everyone seemingly going tiny talks about storage space and needing more storage and stuff. But for me, I don't want all the stuff. So it's just things that make me happy and bring me joy and inspire that I want to display. And so the storage hasn't really been a big deal for me at all. I've got empty cupboards.
Yeah, I really like how you've done that as well, because just because you're going tiny doesn't mean you have to be super minimalist and you can't have some things that make you happy. And having all this lovely stuff on display, it really does add to the space.
Exactly.
And then your kitchen here is just so striking. Again, that window just becomes such a feature.
It's so beautiful. Every time I look at it, it just makes me happy.
Yeah. The height of that window and the openness of this room just makes it feel so spacious too.
It does. I really wanted an open, welcoming space, and I wanted to be able to display all my beautiful things in a beautiful place. And so I'm all about open shelving, especially with it being a real timber.
And all of the green colour in the cabinetry really makes you feel connected to that vista outside.
It really does. And I saw a photo and something was painted this colour and it had a pink flower on top of it, and I thought, that's the colour of my kitchen.
The U shape of the kitchen gives you a lot of prep space.
It really does. I've never actually worked and lived in a kitchen that's so well appointed. You know, the pantry, the fridge, the oven, the bench space, the sink, the dishwasher, it's all within a step of each other, and it just works so well.
Beautiful timber on the bench tops.
It's so lovely. When it was being made, I went up to the factory about 2.5 hours up the road and saw it in its raw state and took my colour samples up there and saw it all as like raw timber before they put it all together, and it smelled amazing and it was just so beautiful.
Timber starts off beautiful and then it gets that coat of oil and just turns into absolute magic, eh?
It really does.
And I like the way you've added the table here as well.
Yeah, I'm short, so I don't really like sitting high at a bar stool. And I was going to originally work from home, I thought. So this was basically to drop that down and have my laptop and everything sitting up on the higher bench. So it's actually perfect for me to work on with my laptop and also to eat here too. It's really comfortable.
Nice addition. Lots of storage here in the kitchen.
More than I need. I've actually got all my camping things in the kitchen, which seems like a strange place to put them, but you know, where else do you put a couple of tents?
Hey, if you've got an empty drawer, why not?
Exactly.
All the necessary appliances as well?
Yes, I never have ever needed more than 2 burners at a time, so the Joule is perfect for me. And it's a regular full-size oven. It is gas, but it does run a little bit on electric as well. But yeah, it's perfect for me.
Excellent. And then behind us, we've got your bathroom.
Yes, come and have a look.
Let's take a look. These beads are really cool.
Yes.
They definitely add a bit of fun to the bathroom, eh?
They do. They were another random op shop find in a second-hand store down the road.
Very cool. And wow, look at that shower.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I didn't want just a standard shower, and I always imagined like a really beautifully tiled shower. But with the weight and the moving of the actual tiles, I decided to go with something lightweight, but still beautiful.
Nice vanity here.
Yes, there was a few nights in Sydney with me standing in the corner of a room with a piece of paper trying to measure out exactly how high the basin needed to be and how deep the shelves were so that I didn't hit my head when I was washing my face. So it must have looked like a crazy person to the neighbours, but it worked. It's perfect.
It sure does. And again, the shelving just gives you that opportunity to put a bit more character into the space.
It does. I just love the wood. The more places I can put it, the better.
Lots of storage here as well.
Yes, I wanted to have all of my storage in the bathroom so it's out of the way and there's no clutter anywhere else. So I've got a full wardrobe in here with the washing machine and then just full shelves in here.
Great. Very nicely done. And then your sleeping loft is upstairs.
Yes, shall we go up?
Let's go take a look. This is so cozy.
It is. It's really great. I love it.
Again, this feels very spacious as a sleeping loft.
It does. I think part of the reason for not wanting any storage up here was to keep it more open. I'm only going to come up here to sleep. I don't need to have a lot of storage up here. And then with the skylight, it's just amazing. I just watch the stars all night long and the lightning, and it's somewhat inhibitive sometimes to actually getting a good night's sleep, but I love being up here anyway.
It's worth it for the view then.
It's totally worth it.
You've got the windows up here as well that give you that nice cross breeze.
I do. They're brilliant. And now I didn't have any blinds up here for a long time, but I've recently got those and it has made such a difference. It's really, really cozy up here now and I feel it's much, much darker, but it's still really open to the rest of the house. But it's great with the cross breeze being able to have them both open.
There's a bit of a philosophy when it comes to bedrooms as well, that it's quite nice to keep them uncluttered and very, very simple because it actually helps to calm the mind and make it a more relaxing place to sleep.
Exactly. I love lying up here and doing like a breathwork meditation. It's quite magical and I've had some of the best sleeps I've ever had up in this loft.
I bet. So how long have you been living in the tiny house now?
It's been about 10 months now.
Now, this is something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time. Is tiny house life living up to your expectation?
It actually has exceeded expectation. It hasn't been without its challenges. There's been a lot of angst and a lot of stress trying to find the perfect spot and things like that, but it's all part of the journey and it's so well worth it. I couldn't be happier with where I am now.
What would you say that you have enjoyed most about now living in this tiny house?
Every day I wake up and it's beautiful for a start. Even if the weather's bad, it looks beautiful. But I've wanted to live like this for a long time. I really believe in living more lightly on the earth and with nature and in a peaceful setting. And I find stress affects me much more harshly than it used to before the earthquakes. I can't deal with stress like I used to, and I just want to be calm. And so I've always had the opposite of chaos as a catchphrase in my head since I was a kid, and I don't know why. And so this has always been the opposite of chaos for me. So after living all around the world in different places, I've always lived in places that are okay, they're nice enough, but they've never been beautiful and they've never been luxurious. And it's really amazing to have been able to create a space that works perfectly for me It's functional, but it's also beautiful, and there's little touches of luxury that I wouldn't be able to afford to have done in a regular size house. And so some of these little things, they make every day worth waking up to. It's just beautiful. I love it here.
And can we talk about the cost that was involved in bringing this dream to life?
Sure. It's a full custom build. And so with all my little crazy touches on top of the actual build, I've probably spent around 150,000 now.
It's a great result. And I think part of going tiny is getting to have a few of those extravagant choices. Vicki, what you've created here really is so special. It certainly is the opposite of chaos. What you've created here is absolutely a sanctuary. Thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. The home that Vicki has created here is enchanting. She has a real tropical paradise here in this place. And after being through so much, losing her home in the earthquake, it's inspiring to see that she's been able to rebuild a life that is just so beautiful.